Spokes, the rumors are true. I have a stain on my shirt, but I'm about to go work out after I shoot this video, so you're here on the stash. You know we're not doing all things sort of fancy and glittery and glamorous because, I mean, today we're talking about a game that is pretty glamorous, though. It's a game that I feel gets mishandled as just another GTA clone, a game that people definitely sleep on. Released originally on the Xbox and PlayStation 2. There was a Wii version that followed it up, based on an iconic movie, an iconic franchise. We, of course, are talking about Scarface, The World Is Yours, a game that is much, much more than just a simple GTA clone. It's a super fun game, and if you've never played it, you definitely should. I absolutely love this game. If I made like a top 20 list of games that I love, because I guess that's why you would make a top 20, Scarface would definitely be on that list. Of course, it's Tony Montana. You remember the Future song? Tony Montana, Tony Montana, about to cut the Porsche, Tony Montana. We used to DJ back when that song first came out by Future, and there was this weird dude who kind of looked like Drake that would always come to the bar that we were at, and he would do this dance to the song where he would just like move his hands back and forth. Like, I don't know if he was tripping or what, but like we would always play that song so that weird fake Drake would do the dance. But this game is super cool, especially if you're a fan of the Scarface franchise, because of course Scarface came out in 1983 starring Al Pacino, and it's an iconic film of just, you know, how Miami kind of was seen at that time frame. Someone with nothing rising to the empire of being a kingpin. And at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, you're in your mansion and it gets raided and you die. But the game actually takes that idea and is like, well, what if Tony survived? What would he have done? How would he have, you know, gotten back on his feet? So you end up surviving the mansion shootout, and that's where the game takes place. So it's really a literal direct sequel to Scarface, and I think that's super cool. It was developed by Radical Entertainment, published by Sierra. I wonder if Metal Jesus had a hand in that. So the gameplay in the game is definitely varied. You know, initially you would think it's just, you know, standard GTA stuff, you know, doing missions, killing people, this, that, and the other, but there's really a lot more to it. Of course, there is gunplay in the game, everything ranging from a pistol to a rocket, and you're taking out your enemies, taking out other drug dealers, trying to get their turf. The turf thing in this game is actually very big because you want to control all of these different areas within Miami and make them your territory, so that way people aren't trying to take over it. And of course, you get all the money from all the different drug trades that you do. When you take over different sorts of businesses, they will pay you money in order for your protection, because you are now, you know, protecting their business, and you and your associates are protecting their business as well. So that's a big role in it. Of course, there's your standard gunplay that's actually very well done. I feel like when you shoot someone, there's a lot of satisfaction in how you shoot them or where you shoot them, because, you know, like shooting them in the leg, well, they'll go down and grab their leg, or they'll, you know, grab their neck if you shoot them in the neck. It's very sort of realistic in the sense that Grand Theft Auto wasn't really doing animations quite like that at the time. Of course, you can always kick back and go to the club and just start dancing if you want to. We used to make up something called the Montana Shuffle, which is where you wouldn't actually, because like you could like just stand there and you'll start automatically dancing, but we would just like shuffle our feet back and forth like really quickly, so it looked like he was just like having a seizure on the dance floor. And of course, like, you know, you can smack people around on the dance floor if you want to, but no killing of civilians, because that goes against Montana's code. You can also gamble and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do. Races, you know, you get a bunch of different cars and stuff, obviously based on 80s sort of different vehicles, from raggedy ass things to supercars. You can have them delivered to you via a phone system. Tony will get on his phone and be like, hey, I need a new car, chico. And then they'll send you a new car and stuff like that. There's boats in the game as well. It's a really well done game. If you mess around in the ocean too long, a shark will come and eat you. Like, just little intricate details like that really make the world of Miami feel alive. There's also something called the balls meter, because I mean, balls. You got your word in your balls. What are you going to do? That basically fills up as you're killing people. And then when that's filled up, you could go into like this rage mode where it's a first person mode and you just have unlimited ammunition and you're just mowing people down. And Tony's giving all his one-liners. It's not Al Pacino doing the voice, but it's somebody that Al Pacino himself picked. And it sounds just like Tony. If somebody didn't tell you, if somebody didn't tell you like, hey, this isn't Al Pacino, I don't think anyone would really know. Like, the character of Tony Montana is done perfectly. It's exactly how you would expect him to be after this mansion shootout, after all this stuff. Of course, you're buying properties in the game as well to kind of replicate everything. But the balls mode is really cool. It just gives you into this blind rage that you have. I think the graphics of the game hold up extremely well. I think it was one of the better looking games that was like an open world game at that time. Kind of reminds me a bit of True Crime Streets of LA, but a lot more detailed. Like, I think it's a really good looking game, and like everything that happens from explosions to car wrecks and stuff like that, it all looks great. The city of Miami has different landmarks that you'll recognize if you're familiar with Miami. If not, there's a lot of cocaine, and that's kind of a landmark of Miami. But I think the best thing about this game is the soundtrack. Holy shit. This soundtrack is so good. There's so many songs that I learned about from this soundtrack that like I still listen to this day. Like, that's how impactful this was. Whether it's, the standard like club music, turn out the night, I could be strong as long as there's daylight. And then of course you have, push it to the limit. Dun, 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 push it to the limit. The limit. But like, even like the reggae stuff is like stuff that I'd never heard before. Like the One Good Shaggy song, you have to right, yes, I'm right. Like, that song was freaking a banger. Third World, 96 degrees in the shade, real hot, oh yeah, in the shade. Like, just such good songs in this game, and it's amazing. Like, I love the soundtrack of this game. The soundtrack of this game is a top 5 for me. Is a complete top 5 for me. I would put it up against just about any licensed soundtrack in a game. It's from this mid 80s sort of vibe, and I have a weird affinity for that kind of music. As far as drawbacks are concerned with the game, I mean, it can feel a little clunky from time to time with the controls, but that's just more so a product of its time. I think this is a game that if you have a PS2, you have an Xbox or a Wii, because the Wii has like a chainsaw mode in it, that's kind of cool. But if you have a means to play this game, even if it's through emulation, which of course I completely support because you can't buy this game new anymore, this is a game that everyone should play. If you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto style games, you need to play this game. Obviously you're waiting for GTA 6, you have some downtime, just shift your mentality that it is a bit of an older game and play this game. Scarface it's amazing. It's an amazing game. I actually still have it on the Wii. One of my few Wii games that I still have. Great game, just awesome. So awesome. Let me know if you've ever played Scarface on any sort of platform. If not, highly suggest you guys go out there and check it out. It's fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video of the stash. I'm going to work out now so that my dirty shirt gets sweaty and I can wash it, and then it'll be clean later.